For decades, the Bermuda Triangle has captured imaginations with stories of vanishing planes and ships, but now a new scientific theory claims to have finally answered.
For centuries, the Bermuda Triangle has been a graveyard of whispers, where ships dissolve into calm seas and aircraft vanish without a single distress call. Sailors spoke of glowing waters. Pilots reported compasses spinning wildly. Governments called it coincidence. Insurance companies filed the claims and moved on. But now, in 2025, the ocean floor itself has been probed in ways once reserved for science fiction. Advanced seismic imaging, processed through layers of computational power that many are already labeling AI-assisted ocean floor analysis, has returned data no one expected. Beneath the very heart of the triangle, directly under Bermuda, lies a structure that defies every model of how our planet's crust should behave. A layer of rock more than 12 miles thick, embedded not where geology textbooks say it belongs, but trapped inside the tectonic plate itself. Denser than the water above it, yet buoyant enough to keep an entire volcanic island from sinking for 30 million years after its last eruption. The room went silent when the first receiver function models resolved, because what the data revealed should not exist on Earth, at least not here, not now. It is not a sunken city. It is not an alien outpost. Yet it is something no textbook on oceanic geology has ever described at this scale. For decades, we dismissed the triangle as myth. Now the bottom has answered back. And the answer raises a question that refuses to stay buried. If the very bedrock beneath the Bermuda Triangle is unlike anything else on the planet, what else has it been hiding? The Bermuda Triangle is not an official geographic designation in the U.S. The Board of Geographic Names does not recognize it. The U.S. Navy and Coast Guard have repeatedly stated there are no special maps or warnings for the region roughly bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Confirmed facts are straightforward. The area sits atop one of the busiest shipping and aviation corridors in the Atlantic. It is crossed by the powerful Gulf Stream, subject to sudden storms, and lies within the path of Atlantic hurricanes. Magnetic variation, the difference between magnetic north and true north, is noticeable here, as it is in many parts of the world. The seafloor drops sharply into deep trenches. The most famous case remains Flight 19. 5 Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that departed Fort Lauderdale on December 5, 1945 for a routine navigation training flight. 14 men never returned. A search aircraft sent after them also disappeared. Official inquiries cited navigational confusion, possible fuel exhaustion, and deteriorating weather. No confirmed wreckage from the flight has ever been recovered. Scholarly debates center on statistics. In 1975, pilot and researcher Larry Kusch published The Bermuda Triangle Mystery, Solved, cross-referencing hundreds of incident reports against Lloyd's of London insurance records and U.S. Coast Guard logs. His conclusion: when adjusted for traffic volume, the disappearance rate is statistically normal for any busy stretch of ocean. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and the Coast Guard have echoed this position for decades. Speculative theories, long popular in books and documentaries, include rogue waves exceeding 30 meters, sudden releases of methane hydrate gas from seafloor sediments, electromagnetic anomalies, and even remnants of the lost continent of Atlantis. None of these have been proven to occur at unusual frequency inside the triangle compared with other oceanic regions. The problem is not that ships and planes disappear. They do everywhere. The anomaly is that the legends refuse to die even when the numbers do not support them. Why does one patch of ocean continue to attract claims of supernatural forces when identical losses elsewhere are accepted as tragic but ordinary? Layer onto that the geological peculiarity of Bermuda itself. The island is the tip of a massive volcanic seamount that last erupted 30 to 35 million years ago. Standard plate tectonic models predict it should have subsided thousands of meters by now, or becoming a flat guyot like hundreds of other extinct volcanoes in the Atlantic. Instead, it remains perched atop a broad oceanic swell, an elevated section of seafloor rising hundreds of meters above the surrounding abyssal plain. Something has been holding it up. For decades, scientists assumed a hidden mantle plume or thermal anomaly. Seismic data never found one. The curiosity gap widened. If the island defies subsidence models, what exactly lies beneath the crust that everyone had assumed was ordinary oceanic lithosphere? In late 2025, seismologist William D. Fraser of Carnegie Science and Yale University professor Jeffrey Park published their findings in Geophysical Research Letters. Using high-frequency P2S receiver function imaging, they analyzed seismic waveforms recorded at Bermuda's permanent borehole station BBSR. And they processed signals from dozens of distant earthquakes, magnitude 5.5 and greater, to create a detailed cross-section down to roughly 50 kilometers depth. What emerged was a previously undetected layer, approximately 20 kilometers thick, twice as thick as similar underplated zones observed at other intraplate ocean islands. This layer sits directly beneath the oceanic crust, inside the tectonic plate, and consists of modified lithospheric mantle roughly 50 kilograms per cubic meter less dense than the surrounding rock. Its velocity structure, VP around 7.3 kilometers per second, and buoyancy are consistent with magma that intruded and cooled during Bermuda's final volcanic phase 30 to 35 million years ago. The discovery is not an AI scan of the ocean floor in the popular video sense. No autonomous underwater vehicle or multi-beam sonar mapped the visible seabed. Instead, it is a computational reconstruction of how earthquake waves refract and convert deep underground. Modern receiver function analysis does rely on sophisticated algorithms for noise reduction and stacking. Artificial intelligence tools are increasingly used in seismology to process vast waveform datasets and identify subtle interfaces that human analysts might miss. In that limited realistic sense, computational methods akin to AI helped sharpen the image. But the raw data came from natural earthquakes and a single land-based seismic station. AI cannot see through 12 miles of rock. It can only help interpret the echoes. But the layer explains the Bermuda swell's persistent elevation without requiring a hot mantle plume. It is the first time such extreme underplating has been documented at this thickness and location inside an oceanic plate. The stakes rose immediately. Other oceanic swells exist worldwide: the Azores, the Canary Islands, the Hawaiian chain. If Bermuda's extraordinary underplating is not unique, then our models of how volcanic islands form and persist after magmatism ceases may need wholesale revision. Fraser and Park have already begun checking seismic records from similar sites. Institutional hesitation is visible in the measured language of the paper itself. The authors emphasize that the layer's exact composition and lateral extent remain uncertain. They caution that receiver functions from a single station cannot map the full three-dimensional structure. Peer reviewers noted the robustness of the velocity models, but called for additional offshore seismic arrays to confirm the findings. Scientific caution is appropriate. Extraordinary claims about Earth's interior require extraordinary evidence. No one is suggesting the layer is artificial or paranormal. Yet its existence forces geologists to confront an uncomfortable truth. Even well-studied regions of the planet still hold surprises at depths we cannot directly observe. Conventional explanation: the underplated layer is a natural remnant of ancient volcanic activity linked to the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea. Magma intruded the base of the lithosphere, cooled into buoyant rock, and has supported the swell isostatically ever since. Disappearances in the triangle remain unrelated statistical noise caused by weather, human error, and heavy traffic. Alternative theory: some researchers wonder whether similar underplating occurs more widely in the Atlantic and whether ancient mantle processes could have produced localized geophysical anomalies, magnetic or gravitational, that might have affected navigation instruments decades ago. This remains highly speculative and unproven. Skeptical position: the layer is interesting geology, but irrelevant to maritime safety. Rogue waves, methane seeps, and sudden squalls have been documented elsewhere without creating mystery zones. The triangle's reputation is a cultural artifact amplified by books, television, and confirmation bias, as Dr. and Karl Kruszelnicki and others have shown. The numbers simply do not support an excess of incidents once traffic volume is accounted for. Why does this matter? Because every time we peel back another layer of the planet, literally, we are reminded how little we truly know. The Bermuda Triangle has endured as a symbol of the unknown, a place where technology and human confidence seem to fail. Now the unknown has been located not in the supernatural, but in the solid rock 20 kilometers beneath our feet. It changes nothing about the tragedy of lost lives at sea. It changes everything about how we understand the living Earth. If a 20-kilometer slab of ancient magma can remain hidden for 35 million years and still shape the surface we sail upon, what other quiet processes are quietly reshaping our world right now? The discovery invites humility. We map the seafloor with ever greater precision, yet the planet still keeps secrets measured in kilometers of stone. One final question lingers. If the bedrock beneath the Bermuda Triangle is this strange, how many other ordinary places on Earth hide equally impossible structures waiting for the next earthquake wave or AI-assisted analysis to reveal them? The ocean floor has spoken. The rest of the story is still being written beneath our feet. What do you think lies down there? Geology, or something we have not yet learned to imagine? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The bottom is listening.